guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a little get ready with me, but while I'm getting ready, I'm going to answer some end of the year book tag questions and talk about my anticipated releases for next year. I'm excited, let's get into it. I am going to put this ridiculous headband on. Just going for something very low coverage and really light today. Can't tell if it's focused, but I just always start with the L'Oreal Lumi Lotion, and I love this because it's it gives you a little bit of glow, but it's not super heavy on your skin, which is what I need because I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have very acne prone skin, and I was actually on Accutane for a while, 2 years ago, and my skin completely cleared up, and then now it's been breaking out. I think it's honestly the Halo Glow that I was using. I've heard a lot of people say that that breaks them out too. Oh, that was a lot. Oh, I think that was honestly my issue. I've stopped using it and it has gotten better. So I'm hoping that's really the only thing. I have all the questions in my notes on my phone. And it looks like the first one is your favorite covers of the year. And I won't lie, this is the first year in a while that I've kind of got back into reading. So a lot of the books that I read this year didn't come out this year. They're a little bit older. But my favorite covers, the first one is Cowboy Casual, which I don't ever see anyone talk about this book, but it's such a pretty pink cover. I'll just put a picture up on the screen so you guys can see it. But that one's definitely really pretty to me. And then honestly, anything in the Rebel Blue Ranch series by Lila Sage, I just think those covers are beautiful too, which I actually have some of them on my bookshelf, but I don't know if you can see. Next question, books you haven't stopped thinking about. I talked about one of them in my November wrap up, and then I'm pretty sure I talked about another one in another video, but I don't know if it ever made it out, honestly. But it's Play Along and The Right Move by Liz Tomford, both in the Windy City series. I know everybody says after they finish a book, oh, I can't stop thinking about it. But genuinely, those books, I read them for the first time in July. And then I'm pretty sure I read both of them 2 weeks later again because I was just so obsessed with them. And then I just read them each again. One of them I read this month, and then one of them I read last month. And they're just still as good. Honestly, I think they get better with time. And yeah, I truly I think about the characters, I think about the found family for the whole series, and it just never gets old. I do genuinely think about it, or even just different plot points, things that they do for each other and everything. I know that sounds so cheesy, but I just love those books so much. They're so good, and I don't know, I feel like Liz Tomford's just a really good writer in the fact that her books have a lot more going on that's not just the romance, but everything keeps you super interested. And honestly, I don't really know how to do makeup very well. I just kind of follow what I see other people do. I'm gonna blend this out really quick and then I'll get into the next question. Okay, this one I genuinely feel bad answering, but it's most disappointing. And this one kills me because I love Abby Jimenez. There's been only other one, oh my goodness, I cannot talk. There's only ever been one other book by her that I didn't absolutely love, and I'm pretty sure it's The Friend Zone. I can't remember exactly. But the one that this year was just so disappointing was Say You'll Remember Me. And I know I'm not the only person who thinks that, because that's what I talk about with all my friends who read, is they're always we're just always talking about how usually Abby Jimenez is our favorite authors and we always love every single one of her books, but that one just fell very flat for us because there was just so many random pop culture references, and this is just a personal preference, but I always read to escape normal life, so I don't really want to hear about TikTok in a book I'm reading. Also, I feel there was just so many instances from the book that were so random. Their first date, or I think it might be their first date, where they're stuck in the spaceship, I think. I would just genuinely don't understand how some of these plot points came about. Next one, a book you thought you would love but didn't. And this one, I usually love anything memoirs, nonfiction, just anything about someone's life I love. So I really went into this thinking I was going to love it, and I really just did not. It was not really my thing. I felt most of it was just Dolly basically recounting her party days. Okay, my powder's like all messed up, so you guys are just gonna have to bear with me with this. I like can't peel this part off, so I don't really think that it gives you any like real insight on her life other than that. And then also too, just like it felt very repetitive. Oh my gosh. Okay, my powder is like flying everywhere, so hopefully that doesn't bother you guys. Didn't really find it interesting to like read about, but I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't as interesting as I thought, and I like kind of didn't really understand the hype on it, but I really truly did go into it like thinking it was going to be a book that I would absolutely love, and I just unfortunately did not. Next one is books you're gonna reread, and I've actually already been like obsessed with rereading books recently. So I already told you guys that I've reread 2 of the Windy City series books, and then I'm actually rereading Twilight right now. It hasn't been super consistent. I think I just got powder all over my shirt. It hasn't been super consistent, but like in between reading other things, I've been reading Twilight, which is like usually a book that I love. So I'm definitely in my rereading like phase right now. But other books that I read this year that I would definitely be rereading are The 7-Year Slip. That one is one of my all-time favorite books. It's so good. And then next ones would be Abby Jimenez books. Number 1, Yours Truly. That was like one of the first books I read this year that like really got me back into reading. The other one is Just for the Summer, which I'm trying to like wait. Oh my gosh, I have powder everywhere. I'm trying to wait for the summer to read that one. And same with 7-Year Slip. Like I feel like those are good like spring and summer books to read, not like right now in the winter, but those are books that I will definitely be rereading next year at some point from this year. Okay, next up is my eyebrows and my eyebrow pencil. I have like nothing left on it, so hopefully I can even get through my eyebrows, but I usually just use like the little spoolie, make sure my hair is all going in one direction. If you haven't noticed, I have like no eyebrow naturally, so that is why I have to fill them in. So I'm gonna try to do this the best I can off camera. That's just gonna be probably the best we can do today. Okay, next one, underhyped book you loved. This one honestly goes for this whole next series. It is this entire series. It's just a bunch of sports romances. We have, first one I read this year, I think this was actually the first book I read this year, period. It's Collide. Then there's Spiral, and then lastly we have Revolve. These ones are just really easy to get through. So these ones I never see people talk about, but they're really good. And I think it was really cute because I feel like her guys are like very like acts of service-y and like very soft, and I just love that. So I really enjoyed those books. Next, this is mascara I have been using. It's the L'Oreal Telescopic. I don't actually really like this, but it was like really cheap at the store one time, so I got it. I think I'm gonna do the first coat Telescopic, and then after that the Kat Von D one to like layer it. Okay, I ended up just using my Telescopic because I was honestly too lazy to like double coat it. So this is just one coat of the Telescopic. And then I just put this on my lips. I haven't ever used it before. I'm pretty sure it's from TJ Maxx. I just got it for Christmas. But it's like a nice little shimmery light pink. Okay, just switched up the angle so that we can do my hair. And I'm a little bit worried because my camera just fell in the bathroom trash can. And I had like just put my contacts in, so there was like contact solution in the trash. And so I'm hoping that this still works. I'm hoping that it didn't like mess up my camera. So we're just gonna hope for the best. But I just put my heat protectant in my hair. Where's the cap? I have literally no idea. Okay. This is the heat protectant I use. I've honestly had it for probably like 3 years now, so it probably doesn't do anything, but that's okay. This one, an overhyped book. I'm gonna go with, and I already talked about this in my November wrap-up, so if you're like already familiar with my thoughts on this, sorry. But I'm gonna go with Binding 13. I just did not like that book. That's the only one I've ever read. I didn't read any of the other ones in the series, but I just could not understand why it was so popular. Like, I did not think that either of the main characters were, like, I couldn't root for them. They honestly just both annoyed me. And even too just like the plot. Like, there was no plot, I feel like, and I just felt like the same scene was happening over and over again. So that is one that I just feel like is definitely overhyped. Like, I will not understand it, and I really wish that I could. Also, you're probably like, why is she curling her hair without the clamp? Honestly, I just have always used a wand. I got this one last year from Goodwill, and I thought it was because I wanted like a smaller barrel, and now that I have it, I'm like, well, I kind of miss the one that I was using before. But I've just used a wand for so long that like the clamp, I don't know. I just prefer like a wand style. Hold on. So, the Utah curls are not for me, let me just say that. I feel like personally I love like the big blowout bouncy like Victoria's Secret curls. I don't know why those ever went out of style, because personally that's the kind of curl that I always love. I guess while I'm sitting here I'll talk to you about my books I'm excited about for 2026. The first one, Haley Pham's book. You've probably seen that everywhere. I have been following Haley Pham for like years and years and years. Like I was in high school whenever I was watching her. So the fact that she's writing a book, I'm like so excited for it. And it's typically not like tropes that I would like, but of course if she's writing it, like I'm gonna read it and gonna see how it is. So that's the first one that I'm really excited about. Second one is, I'm pretty sure it's called In Her Own League. It's Liz Tomford's book. If you've read Kai or Isaiah's book, which is Play Along or Caught Up, you kind of see like Monty and Reese, that's who In Her Own League is about. You kind of see them like interact with each other. Okay, that one was terrible. We're just gonna act like that didn't happen. So that one you can tell like they don't like each other, but it definitely makes sense that they'd be like an enemies to lovers situation. So I'm really excited about that one. And then Jeanette McCurdy's coming out with a new book, which I'm really excited about that because I read her memoir, which is I'm Glad My Mom Died. That one is really good. And I read it a couple years ago, I think, but I still think about that book because I just like really enjoyed her writing style. And I think she's like a very entertaining person, so I'm really excited about that one. This one's actually a fiction book, which is different from like what she's written before, but I'm really excited about it. I'm literally out of breath and I'm like sweating right now. I swear, being a girl is just a lot. Another book I'm excited about is, which I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous about this one, but it's Abby Jimenez's new book, which I think it's called The Night We Met. It's the second book in the Say You'll Remember Me series. And as you guys can hear from earlier, I did not love Say You'll Remember Me. So I don't know if this book is going to be good, or since it's in the same series, it's going to be bad. I don't know, but it's Abby Jimenez, so of course I'm going to read it. I think it's just those four. I don't really have a ton that like I really want to read. So if you have books that you're excited about for next year, let me know because I would love to add some more to my list. Next one is Most Unique Concept. And I haven't read a ton of thrillers, especially ones that aren't Frida McFadden, so if what I'm about to say next is like completely off, just ignore me, because I'm speaking out of honestly not very much knowledge, but from the books that I have read, The Silent Patient, that is like by far the most unique concept, and I really enjoyed that book. That was like really the first thriller that I like really got into and could not put down. Another one is talking about like your reading goals and your reading priority for next year. And I think I'm gonna go crazy and set my reading goal for 100 because I really want to get to 100 books in a year. I feel like that would be really cool. Because right now I think I'm at like 78 and I haven't included any of my rereads in that. Like that's just strictly like new books that I've read. I think I'm at 78. And it's like I could definitely get to 100 I think, like especially if I really tried. So I think that's going to be my reading goal. And then my priorities for this year are going to be a little bit different than this year. This year I just really wanted to read like as many books as I could, and I wanted them to be like kind of popular so I could like, I guess be in the know of like what everybody else has read. And I don't know, I was just trying to like get into romance and like change my reading. I'm like so out of breath right now. But this year was all about just like reading popular books that like other people talk about, and also to just like kind of stepping into fiction more, because prior to that I had only really read like memoirs and self-help books and autobiographies, which is like still interesting and still fun, but I really did step into like romance and fiction this year, which was fun. And then next year I kind of want to focus on like reading more Christian books and reading more like, I kind of want to try dark academia. I have a couple suggestions that I want to start getting into, and fantasy. So it's like I want to really broaden my horizon. Because right now it's really just like nonfiction books and then romance, but I want to read just like anything and everything this year. So that's kind of my reading focus. And then I also want to focus on books that like I've been kind of intimidated to read, like longer fantasy series. I really want to get into those because I finally started reading fantasy like honestly a couple of days ago. And so far I've been really enjoying that. So the Crescent City series, that's like very daunting, but I definitely want to do that. I want to read Akatar, Throne of Glass, all those like basic thrillers, or not thrillers, fantasy books. One side is done, and I think my camera stopped recording, so I honestly don't remember where I left off, so I'll just see you guys after I curl with the other side. Hair's done, so we are good to go for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun hanging out with you, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!